Russ updated that. He said he should be good to go. I don't expect him to practice this week. I think it's a next week situation. Pads come on Tuesday. That's kind of my first benchmark of when I could see Russell Wilson back on the field as soon as possible. In the meantime, Justin Fields looked good today, much better than he did yesterday. Yesterday, there was that one viral pass of him to Van Jefferson over our deep over Dante Jackson and DeMonte KZ, and everybody's freaking out. That's the dime. He looks good. Louis Riddick saying QB1 in Pittsburgh. There were a lot of bad passes yesterday. Yesterday was, he looked really good at some times and he looked really bad at other times. And I mean, equally as good to equally as bad. So if you looked at that Van Jefferson pass and said, man, that was phenomenal, think of that the other way, because there were certainly some of those as well. Today looked much more convincing and much more consistent, which was good. He had some good passes. He didn't hang in the pocket as long as he typically hangs in the pocket, which is too long. It was a bit of a slower day for Justin, which is good. When things start to get real fast, he kind of starts to make some bad decisions. It kind of feels as if he's processing the game a bit slower than it's moving, which is not good. It takes him a second to make a decision. Next thing you know, there's guys in the backfield making a bad pass, on and so forth. Today, it was smooth. There were some good passes to George Pickens. There was a great pass to Calvin Austin, a phenomenal pass in the middle of the field. Calvin came off the slot, straight down the sideline, beat Beanie Bishop, who we're going to talk about here in a minute, and looked really, really good. There were a lot of moments in Justin with that. I don't know what he went on the day, but yesterday it was about even completions to incompletions, and today he was much more in the positive than he was in the negative. The standouts on offense, the standouts on offense before we go to defense. Roman Wilson was a guy that stood out today and had a really good day. He had a couple of really good catches from both Justin Fields, John Rice Plumlee, and Kyle Allen, especially over the middle of the field, was able to work zones and find open spots and utilize that ability from the slot. He made a couple of contested catches. He caught a touchdown in the goal line situation. I thought Roman Wilson looked really good for the Pittsburgh Steelers on day 2. That's a big day for the Steelers because Roman has not looked good to this point. He didn't look good in OTAs. He didn't look good in minicamp. He didn't look good the first day of training camp. And it's not that he looked bad. It's just that at no point did Roman have that day where you said, there he is. That's why the Steelers don't need to trade for a wide receiver. They've been waiting and waiting for something to happen, and I think today was a step forward, which is massive. And Calvin Austin looked good as well, which is also good. Van Jefferson continues to look good for the Steelers, and that's a name to watch. On the defensive side of the ball, 2 names for you. I agree that one of them is still a bit of a long way away from being consistent enough and showing out enough to make him a household name in Pittsburgh. And the other one is, I don't know, iffy. And one good day should not be a justification for 2 bad years, but still positive days are really good. And today was a very positive day for both of these guys. The first one's Beanie Bishop. That dude over the last 2 days, outside of Deshaun Elliott, has looked like the best defensive player on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, that does not mean he is the best defensive player. It does not mean that he's having a more of an impact than TJ Watt or Cam Hayward or Alex Highsmith or Minka Fitzpatrick or Joey Porter or Dante Jackson. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that at this point in time, we have seen TJ do TJ things. We have seen Cam do Cam things. We have seen Joey and Minka do Joey, Minka, Patrick Queen things. All of those things have already happened. Beanie's the new guy. He's coming in here. He was given the first opportunity to run with the ones in the slot corner. He made the most of it. He got that opportunity on day 2. And yesterday I said to you guys, it's too early. They're going to test everybody. They're going to continue to rotate everybody, and we don't know who the final piece is going to be on this defense. It's too early to tell. And I was thinking of last year when they had a slot cornerback competition and Duke Dawson went out there on day 1 and everybody hyped up Duke Dawson, and then he never took starting reps again. It went in a constant rotation until they landed on Chandon Sullivan. Today was Beanie Bishop again, and immediately I went, that's new. That's something that stands out. And then he played well, and you just looked at it and said, Beanie's having a day. I don't know why you would take him out of here until he falls enough where you have to take him out of there, which maybe that happens. And as an undrafted rookie, you kind of expect it to happen. But at the same time, right now, he's looked good, and he's looked good enough to say, yeah, that's a guy that you need to start paying attention to if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, because there is an actual chance, and it's 2 days in, and it's way too early to make any promises or guarantees or anything like that. But I will say that after today and yesterday, there's an actual chance Beanie Bishop is your starting slot corner in week 1. And that is crazy because an undrafted guy should not be in that case. But I mean, if you're the best, if they brought you in here for a reason, they brought you in here for a reason. The other guy is DeMarvin Leal, who had a phenomenal day. Got to the quarterback 2 or 3 times, ran, I believe it was Jaylen Warren down on the sideline one time, didn't allow him to get into yards. That was a great play as well. Afterwards, he said that it wasn't that he was out of shape last year, but this year he just feels ready to go. He feels 100%. He feels like this is a good year for him and somewhere that he could grow, a season where he could really take a step forward. I think you saw that today. He looks a lot faster, a lot more athletic. I don't know what kind of shape he's in compared to last year because he wouldn't give us numbers of if he lost weight or gained weight or whatever. But it was a good day for DeMarvin Leal. You need more good days out of DeMarvin Leal, but that dude's got so much potential that I think people after 2 years of disappointment forgot that he was a 3rd-round pick that maybe should have went 2nd or 1st round if the draft was a little different and he had maybe a more impressive combine or more impressive this or more impressive that. But he was teetering that line for sure. I think that I think that's a name to watch moving forward, and it's certainly a good sign for the Steelers, who are looking for all the depth they could possibly get. If DeMarvin Leal is ready to take a step forward, that's huge because he could be a piece of your future if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers that you are going to rely on for certain.